1 hour and I have plenty of activities to do with you. I am going to start right now. Um, we have Katie here. Hello, Katie. Can you listen to us? To me?
Hello, teacher.
Okay, welcome to the class. Thank you very much for attending my call.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so I was telling you guys, my name is Elvis Tavares. I'm your tutor for this encounter. And today I am going to show you the things that we are going to do. So give me one moment, please. And I'm going to start sharing the screen with you.
Teacher, excuse me, your name is Elvis?
Yes, that's my name.
Okay.
So we have Katie is here, David, and Julissa. Okay, that's nice. We have three of you, and welcome to this weekly encounter. Today is March 9th, and this encounter goes from 6 to 7. Remember, my name is Elvis Tavares, and we are going to start with a starting discussion. Okay, those are the things that we are going to do today. The objectives of this encounter, I have two activities for you. The first one is listening. I want you to comprehend the main ideas of clear standard speech, including short narratives. And with speaking, I want you to describe real or imaginary events and maintain and expand conversation with a degree of fluency, giving opinions about a specific topic by providing providing explanations, arguments, or comments. So those are the objectives that we are going to achieve today. To start, we are going to start having a conversation. Okay, guys, I want you to speak to me because that is the idea. You are here to practice your English, right? So we are going to start with this warm-up activity. And in this moment, if you are in your house, in your workplace, wherever the place you are receiving this lesson, I want you to look around and find something which, first, you have to find something which you've broken and fixed. Then you have to find something which you've been eating a lot recently. And then I want you to find something that you haven't worn for over a year. You know, we have been in quarantine, we have been locked inside the houses, so we couldn't go out for a long time. So what is that clothing that you haven't worn for over a year? And finally, I want you to tell me about that book that you've been reading for ages and still haven't finished. Okay? So when you find those objects, it could be real objects or in your imagination, just look around your house in your imagination and find these four items that I am asking you for. And then when the time is up, I'm gonna give each one of you maybe 1 or 2 minutes to start telling me all the objects, describing all the objects or situations. Okay, for example, the first one can give you the opportunity to tell the story of that object that you have broken and then you repair that object. And for that reason, I'm gonna use a timer over here. As you can see, you are going to have a timer and each one is going to have maybe 1 or 2 minutes to tell me the answer. So do you understand what is the first mission that you have, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that is perfect because now you have then 2 minutes to look around your house and find these kind of objects, the four objects that you have over there. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna go with music so that I can give you the time. And guys, so 1, 2, 3, go start writing. You can have a piece of paper to write, okay? Okay, so you have another minute to finish your ideas about the four statements over there.
Me toca.
Okay, guys, time is up. So if you didn't have the chance to finish, don't worry. Just improvise when is your time, okay? Because I want you to create a speech. And remember that this is to practice this tense that is kind of advanced and difficult sometimes because we forget about the tense the tense of the verbs, and we have to use them properly whenever we are speaking in present or present perfect, like you can see over here. So I want you to in the spoken language you can use the contractions. So that is the reason I just give you the contractions. Something I've broken, or you can say the long way. I have broken something. I have broken. So it's up to you how you want to pronounce that one. So I think that we are ready to start, and I am going to call one by one because I want all of you to participate here. So I want to start with, is Olga here? Is Olga? I'm gonna make sure that all of you are here. So no, not yet. So let's continue with Katie. Hey, Katie. Can you listen to
Okay,
me?
teacher. Yes,
Okay, so
teacher.
I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and I want you to tell me about these four objects that you found. Okay,
Okay, teacher.
there you go. Yes.
The first, I have broken a glass and I have fixed it. I have been eating hamburger a lot. I haven't worn my dresses for over a year. I have been reading over. I teacher, how do you say bajo la misma estrella?
Well, I think I don't dare to translate that because maybe it has another name in the original language, right? But if you say bajo la misma estrella in English, that would be under the same star. But I don't know if that is the original name, because remember they
Yes,
have
teacher.
differences.
This is the real name.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, entonces, I have been reading over the same star for age.
And why
And
you haven't finished it yet? Why?
because because I'm not responsible to read it. I read it sometimes.
Okay, I understand. Thank you very much. So the nice thing is that you cover the four items. You remember those. So thank you very much. What about
Okay,
Davy?
teacher.
Davy, you there? Can you listen to us?
Yes, teacher. I'm here.
Okay, Davy. Are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, because ready or not, here we go. You can start right now.
Okay. I have broken and fixed. Last week my lamp was broke, and I tried to fix it, but I was very difficult for me, and that makes me feel bad and almost lost my head. And finally, my brother was who could fix it for me.
Perfect.
I You are been eating. I have been eating a lot recently. A lot of rice. Every day in my home, eat rice to complement lunch, and we like it very much. I haven't worn for over years uh, some stickers or pins like I liked using in my clothes. And I have been reading for ages and still haven't finished. Mm, I think could be the Bible, because it was too long to finish in in a very short time, in very the Bible. Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect. I was waiting for you to finish because if you don't give me the signal that you just finished to conclude your speech, I was going to wait for more information. Okay, because that is important. Thank you very much, Davey. It's funny. I agree with you. The Bible is a book that I have been reading all my life. You know, when I was a child, I used to go to church and stuff, and I remember that all those periods they just read chapters or just paragraphs or things like that. So the Bible is one of those mysterious books that you apparently never you are never going to finish or something like that. Thank you very much. What about, let's go with Julissa.
Okay, teacher. Last month I broke a fan, and my brother and I tried to fix it, and we finished the fan, and it was working. Also, I have been eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. Now I like to eat more like fruit salads and salads with vegetables. But I have always eat um, I have always eat for things all my life chocolate, black chocolate. For me, it's really delicious. Teacher, how do you say arequipe in English?
Well, it's funny because that is something that we prepare here and they have with another number, with, excuse me, with another name. But I have been with American people that they say that they call that caramel, like caramel or something like
Caramel.
that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
also like to eat caramel. The clothes that I haven't worn for more than a year, it's a red blouse and a black skirt. That is a long black skirt. Because when I was going to the church by face to face, I tried to use it, but I haven't worn high heels because I only use sneakers and about the book, I haven't finished reading a book about methods of teachers that I must read to make better my teaching strategies and communication skills. I haven't finished because it is really long and we have a lot of chapters, more than 30 chapters. So it was really useful to read about it because I have improved my communication skills and my learning strategies. Finish, teacher.
Okay, there you go. Look, you cover the 2 minutes and you just give me an introduction about the things and then you conclude with a simple like a summary about that. So it's nice, guys, when because that is the objective. You are starting a conversation, you are maintaining that conversation, and then you finish. But remember that you have to give signals to the audience that you finish with a phrase like that is all and that is the reason I think of that, or that is my opinion, or thank you very much, or things like that. You have to make sure. It does not matter if you just finish very quickly. Say that you finish, and that would be okay. So that is a nice job, guys, to start the class with this activity. And now let's go to the other one. Over here, we are going to practice a listening activity, because after this practicing, I want you to create another speech, okay? And this one is gonna be about maybe predictions in the future or things like that. So I'm gonna take you to this link right now, and this is the conversation that we are going to listen. You are going to listen to students comparing Mars and Earth to practice and improve your listening skills, okay? So here we go. This is like an introduction activity, but we are not going to do that one, so we are going to skip this one so that we can have plenty of time. I'm just gonna go with the first activity, guys. Pay attention over here. You are going to have the Earth and Mars, okay? Maybe I can go and make this bigger so that you can see it. Then I'm gonna have problems looking for the audio, but it's okay. So pay attention. You have Earth and Mars, and you have these statements about one of the planets, okay? Has more air, has stronger gravity, is colder, has a longer day, used to have water, is closer to the sun, is 50% smaller, has more nitrogen and oxygen than carbon dioxide. So we are going to listen it. Here we go.
This recording is from the British Council.
Okay, so you've got a few minutes to discuss with your partner.
So, as far as I know, the main similarity between Mars and Earth is that they can both support human life.
Yeah, but do we know that's actually true? I mean, Mars is much colder than Earth, isn't it? It says here it's about minus 55 degrees most of the time, whereas on Earth, only places like Antarctica get that cold.
Okay, so this is the first date, the first information that you receive, guys. So according to this, which planet is colder, the Earth or Mars?
Mars.
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 How could you identify that in the test? What was the lady saying about Mars? She said it's colder, or she gave another fact? She was giving information about why it's colder than the Earth. She said some information about the North Pole or the Antarctic.
Yes,
no?
yes, information.
There you go. So let's go to the other part.
True. Well then, I suppose you could say both planets are a similar distance from the Sun.
No way! Mars is much further away. It says here it's about 228 million kilometers, while Earth is about 150 million.
Yes, but in space that's not that far. Jupiter is like almost 780 million. Yes, but in space that's not...
No way! Mars...
Guys, I'm gonna go back to this fact that they said about Mars and the distance to the Sun.
I suppose you could say both planets are a similar distance from the Sun.
No way! Mars is much further away. It says here it's about 228 million kilometers, while Earth is about 150 million.
So according to this information that you just listened to, can you tell me please which planet is closer to the Sun, the Earth or Mars?
I think it's the Earth.
The Earth. Okay, but
Yes,
you say you
because-
think because you listen to it, or because
Yes,
maybe...
I listen.
Okay.
Because
So it's closer to the Sun, the Earth. Okay, so let's go to the other part.
Yes, but in space that's not that far. Jupiter is like almost 780 million kilometers. That's why we use astronomical units when we talk about distance in space. Earth is 1 astronomical unit from the Sun, and Mars is 1.3. The difference doesn't sound so big when you look at it that way.
I see what you mean. Jupiter is 5.2 astronomical units, so I guess you're right. What other similarities are there between the two planets?
Let's see. Not the color, obviously.
Yeah, Earth is called the blue planet, and Mars is called the red planet for pretty obvious reasons.
Their sizes are pretty different. Mars is about half the size of Earth.
What about this? It looks like the days on both planets are almost the same length. Earth's day is 24 hours, but Mars's is about half an hour longer.
You're
Okay, there you go. According to this final fact that they say about the days, which planet has a longer day, the Earth or Mars?
The Earth.
The Earth has a longer day. So how many hours does one day on Earth has? Excuse me, how many hours have the Earth? And excuse me, how many hours does the Earth have? Sorry. And how many hours does a day on Mars have? Because someone of you is telling me that
Teacher,
Earth has a
I
longer day.
listened.
Yeah.
Teacher, I listened that Mars have an hour more than the Earth.
An hour more, so 25 hours, right? That's what you are telling me. Is there anyone
Yes,
there
teacher.
that listen another information different? No, maybe it was not that clear. Let's go back a little about that information they were telling about the days.
And Earth's day is 24 hours, but Mars's is about half an hour longer.
So is that true? Mars has 1 hour longer?
Yes, teacher.
Half an hour longer.
Half
Longer.
an hour. Okay, half an hour is the middle of 1 hour, so it means 30 minutes. So that is half an hour. So it means that Earth has 24 hours, whereas Mars has 24 hours plus 30 minutes. That is the difference. So according to the information, which is the planet that has a longer day?
Mars.
Mars.
Teacher.
There
Mars.
you go, Mars. Okay, let's go to the other part.
You're right. Okay. Any other things they both share?
I suppose you could say they have water in common.
Could you? How?
Well, Earth is 70% water, and Mars probably had huge oceans in the past.
There you go. Let's talk about water. According to the information, which planet used to have water? So this is pretty obvious.
Yes, he says that Mars because he says in the past. So it
That's
was
right. She said in the past. So it's funny because in this one, it's not necessary for you to get the listening idea because you can have the tense. They are talking about past. So we still have water. And maybe Mars is the one that used to have water. And they said so. So that's nice. Let's go to the other part.
It's just that most of the water there now is probably frozen.
Ah, I see. I don't think we can say the air is the same, though. Most of Earth's air is nitrogen and oxygen. But Mars,
Mars doesn't really have air, not compared with Earth.
There you go. This is another important information, a difference. Which planet has more air? Which planet has more air, Earth or Mars?
Earth.
The Earth has more air, okay. And they also
Yes.
talk about the nitrogen and oxygen and carbon dioxide. Which planet has more of those? Which one? Did you listen this part about the nitrogen, oxygen? Which planet has more?
Teacher. Mars.
Mars? Let's listen again,
Yes.
if that is true. to check and confirm the information. Let's listen again, that part.
Is nitrogen and oxygen, but Mars...
Now is probably frozen.
Ah, I see. I don't think we can say the air is the same, though. Most of Earth's air is nitrogen and oxygen.
Most of Earth's air is this and that. Okay, so they are saying yes, and there is no air in Mars. So for that reason, this one, the planet that has more nitrogen and oxygen is the Earth. And let's listen about the gravity and which planet is 50% smaller.
But Mars...
Mars doesn't really have air, not compared with Earth. It's got about 1% as much air as Earth.
Right, and it's mostly carbon dioxide.
Gravity is another difference. I didn't know this, but Mars has higher gravity than the Moon. But it's much less than on Earth, of course.
So what did they say about the gravity? Which planet has a stronger gravity?
Mars.
Mars, really? Compared to what? Compared to Earth? Because the lady was comparing Mars, but not with the Earth.
Compared with the Moon?
With the Moon, she said, like Mars has a stronger gravity than the Moon, but less than the Earth.
Less than the Earth.
So
Yes.
which planet has stronger gravity? In this occasion, that would be Earth.
Earth.
And I think they tell about the 50%, like in the first part of the video.
Oh, yes. It says that Mars has about 38% of Earth's gravity.
Okay, let's see what you've found.
Okay, I think we didn't get this one, the last one. Which planet is 50% smaller? So if the Earth has a stronger gravity, it means that it's bigger than Mars, isn't it? So let's go this one in Mars. I am not sure about that. Let's check it out. Pretty good. Okay, we did an excellent job over here. So now, guys, according to the listening, I want you to use like your coherence in the sentence and organize them according to the word that is missing. So I'm gonna ask one by one so that you can all participate. And Katie, what do you think about the first sentence? Can you read the first sentence and complete it, please?
Yes. Most people think Mars can support human life.
There you go. What about David? Can you read the second one, please?
We measure distance in space using astronomical units.
There you go. And what about you, Lisa? Can you read the third one?
Okay, the two planets are in the same color.
Are in the same color. Okay, Katie? Can you read the fourth one, please?
Most of the water on Mars is probably frozen.
Frozen. And what about David, the fifth one?
The air on Earth is mostly made up of nitrogen.
Yes.
How do you say nitrogen?
Nitrogen, yeah.
Nitrogen.
And what about Julissa? What about gravity? Can you read the sentence?
On Mars is just gravity on Mars is just over 1/3 as strong as on Earth.
Okay, that's nice, guys. So we did an excellent job over here. So we did just this, guys. It's because I want you to steal, to borrow one of these vocabulary and sentences and information about Mars, for example, about the Earth, because it's the moment for you to have another speech. And here we go. Let's have a discussion over here. And I want you to discuss about the following question. Do you think people will live on Mars one day? Why? I'm gonna give you a preparation time. 60 seconds, I think, is not enough because I want you to have another 2 minutes of speaking, okay? So I want you to, I am going to give you plenty of time, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, so that you can organize your idea and discuss about this. Okay, do you think people will live on Mars one day? Why? So I'm gonna look for the timer over here. And guys, you have 2 minutes to organize your speech and then another 2 minutes to respond. Here you go. You can use a paper to write notes and details and ideas. Okay, you have 10 seconds left to organize your final draft about the speech that you are going to give me. Okay, so I'm gonna call one by one, and I want you to give me your idea. Okay, so Katie, I'm gonna start with you, okay?
Okay, teacher.
So you have 2 minutes to give me your speech about this question over there. 1, 2, 3, and go.
I think that the people, can to live in Mars because Mars is the hottest planet in the universe, and our bodies can to support the heat, and maybe we can to death in the moment. And if the people can to travel to how do you say Marte?
Mars,
Mars.
yes, Mars, yeah,
Mars.
over Mars.
Maybe we can to travel to Mars because yes. um, maybe the human I teacher
Yeah, don't worry, go. Improvise.
uh, the human only can to use robots to recognize this planet, and maybe the planet isn't um, comfortable to our life. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay, remember, I want you to use expressions to finish, and that's all. And that's what I think. That is my
Okay, that's what
opinion.
I think, teacher.
Yeah, because in that way you just conclude and you are just very sure. You are showing me confidence that you just close your speech. Thank you very much about this one, Katie. I have some recommendation to you. Remember that the auxiliary can it's followed by another verb without using the to. Okay, so it's not necessary to say can to death or can to travel, can to talk, or can to use.
Okay,
We
teacher.
just remove the to and you say can die. For example, people can die because of the conditions of the planet. People can
Mm-hmm.
travel or can use this and that, and in that way it's going to be properly. And I didn't understand the part that you say that is the hottest planet on the universe, because according to the listening.
Coldest, teacher. Coldest,
Okay, yeah,
maybe. Coldest.
yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
was okay, so because I was okay, so did they say hottest or cold? Because it's colder than the air. So,
Yes.
but thank you very much. You covered the almost the 2 minutes, and you were giving me explanations and things like that. Thank you, Katie. Now let's go to David. David.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes to talk about this question. 1, 2, 3, go.
I think that people in a very distant future could live on Mars because there are water in Mars. In the past, it was frozen, but in the future probably we can find water with the help of for the technology and another tools that we can be able to live in that planet. I think that everything that we can imagine and dream, always we can do, and we can uh, every dream we can come true. And I can imagine people in the future living in Mars, driving cars and driving planes, and I can imagine the children playing in that planet, and I can imagine to also the vegetables and all kind of animals living in that planet. It's real, and I can see in the future uh, because always everything is possible. Finished, teacher.
Okay, perfect. That was nice. You were talking about dreams and things like that, so that gave you plenty of imagination to continue your speech, because you were talking about the if you everything is possible, if you imagine, if you dream, dreams can come true. So that is a nice strategy to spare time. Remember that the idea is that to if I ask you to cover the 2 minutes, is necessary for you to start giving a speech of 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe longer than that. And you can do it. I can see that you can do it. I have a recommendation for you, David. So when you are going to talk about tools in plural, you use another tools, but another is just for just singular. So you can say people can use other tools, because another is just for one object. And then uh, people can drive a car, but cannot drive a plane, because that is not the proper collocation. So you can say fly planes in the future. I can imagine, and it's nice that you start to use your imagination. When you say I can imagine, I start to see Mars full of cars and highways, with people flying planes. You were giving me the picture, so that was a nice description that you gave me there. So those are the recommendations that I give you, but it was okay. It was perfect. You almost covered the 2 minutes. Thank you very much, Davey.
Okay, teacher, thank you very much.
And now I'm gonna go with Julissa.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, here you go.
I think okay, I think everything is possible because now people are more also. I think that the technology will improve in the future. Also, there will be more opportunities to travel to different planets. Also, in the past, people investigate that it was water in Mars, so maybe in the future will be more, and maybe the people will grow plants and trees, and this will make the air more like better to live human people. On the other hand, many people are preparing in universities talking about planets and making better the professionals, skyrockers. They investigate a lot about um, the climate, the conditions of the planet. Um, Moreover, people now have the opportunity to study about different researchers like um, robots, computers that are more like avanzados, teacher, computadores avanzados,
More advanced
advanced
computers. Yeah.
computers, yes, more computers that will allow to know the distance, the air, the collocations of the skyrockers. And that was my opinion. I think that it will be possible, and if we have faith and we prepare, that will be a big dream for everybody, and it will be a good, like un logro, teacher, un buen logro, como va a
A
ser
nice
una gran
improvement.
meta,
A
no
nice
sé, I don't know.
improvement.
And that was my opinion, yes, teacher.
Okay, yes. Time is up. Thank you very much. That was okay. Um, you just covered the 2 minutes, giving me a lot of explanations about that. So that was great, guys. I have some recommendations to you. English is funny because when you are talking about general things like people, for example, animals, technology, it's not necessary to use the article the people, the technology, the animals. In I don't know, maybe you are talking about a specific amount of people. Okay, you can say the people of this town is crazy. Excuse me, are crazy. The people of this town are crazy. Okay, you are referring to a certain people, okay, a certain amount of people. But when you talk about general stuff, general people, like the human being, for example, it's not necessary to refer to the article. So you can say technology is amazing, people are crazy, and things like that. And then it's nice that you predict about the possibility to travel to a different planets. Where would you like to travel if you were, which planet would you like to visit if you have the chance?
Teacher, I always wanted to travel to the moon because I
Oh,
would like to, yes, teacher, I like the moon. I saw all the movies and I like how the people walk in the moon, like the gravity. This is so funny for me. It would be amazing to travel to the moon.
okay, thank you. So I asked you about a planet, but you decided to travel to the moon, the natural satellite that we have over here. That's nice. Yes, that would be amazing walking in the moon because of the gravity, you know. There is no air and the gravity is like lesser, I think. So thank you very much. That was a nice job. I love when you say on the other hand, because in that way you can use connectors that are going to make a fluency in your speech. Okay, sometimes we just go sentence by sentence. Okay, this sentence comma, this other sentence, comma, this other sentence. But sometimes when you just go, however, nevertheless, in fact, or as you said, on the other hand, because you are contrasting ideas there. And other thing is investigate. You can use synonyms like research or things like that. And when you talk about the collocation of the skyrockets, you can say the location, or yeah, because they are just like seeing the place of that object. But I can see that you are improving, guys, and that you keep practicing because that is the idea of English, keeping practicing. Now, to finish this class, guys, I would like to go to this extension activity. This is to practice connected speech and pronunciation, okay? It's not necessary to understand all the tests over here, though it's kind of difficult sometimes because it's like a poetry and it's a poem, and is, you know, sometimes they don't follow like grammar structures or things like that. But I want you to read this very carefully to me with a very nice pronunciation. And I am going to give you a tip or some strategies, okay? I want you to read line by line, okay? So this line is going to be just one breathing. You take a breath and then you go, warming the hearts of tragic hollow spirits. That is the first one, okay? Warming the hearts of tragic hollow spirits. And then you continue, brighten the eyes of petty thieves who crawl at night, who feign to use a knife. Jingle, jangle, the cosmos are on fire. I want you to practice the connected speech. That is, the last sound of one word is going to be connected with the initial sound of the other word, okay? And in that way, you can practice phonetics. And remember that English involves also physical movements of the muscles of your vocal cords. So that is the reason it's kind of difficult for some people, because we are accustomed to another kind of grammar and phonetics. Spanish phonetics is very strong. You know, the R, for example, we have the R, and we say R, and it vibrates in your mouth. But in English, it's very, very flat, okay, the pronunciation. So I want to start with Katie. Katie, you're gonna be always the first one in the list because I have you in that order in my list. So, can you please give me a nice reading of this poem? Imagine that you are with some children and it's the reading time, and you, or maybe some teenagers, and it's the reading time, and you want to read something to them so that they can just chill out and relax for a while. How can you go and read this to them?
Warming the hearts of tragic hollow spirits, breathing the eyes of petty types. Oy, teacher.
Yes, yes.
Es que se subió la pantalla.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what happened. Give me one moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, what about now?
Okay. Warming the hearts of tragic hollow spirits, bringing the eyes of petty types who crawl at night, who feign to use a knife. Jingle jangle, the cosmos are on fire. The blazing lights of the criminal chairs rejoice to a life broken and depraved, sullied move and roosted tail. Century, ay, excuse me, teacher, espérame. Centuries of potion to escape this heaven or hell, this early sale of dead flowers and so many wounded foes.
Thank you. Okay, that's nice. And you can see that when we read aloud, it's a very nice practicing because you start to get fluent and the fluency comes naturally. And that is the idea, to get a natural fluency when you are speaking. You did great, Katie. What about Davey?
Yes, teacher. Warning the hearts of tragic hoodlum spirits, brightening the eyes of pity types who crawl at night, who feign to use a knife. Jingle jangle, the cosmos are on fire, the blazing loins of the criminal coil. Rejoice to be alive, broken and depraved, sullied, mop and rusted pale. Centuries of poison to escape this heaven or hell. This early cell of dead flowers and so many wounded foes.
Nice. What about you, Lisa?
Okay. Warming the hearts of tragic holding spirits, bringing the eyes of petty types who prowl at night, who feign to use a knife. Jingle jangle, the cosmos are on fire. The blazing lights.
Julissa?
Wait a second, teacher. It's my
Okay.
dog. Wait a second. Okay. The blazing loins of the criminal church rejoice to be alive, broken and depressed, sully, mob, and rusted pale. Centuries of poison to escape this heaven or hell. This early cell of the flowers and so many one falls.
And so many wounded foes. Okay, that's nice, guys. I recommend these kind of activities to you. Try to read aloud, okay? Because in that way, you can start to make a connected speech that is very, very common on native speakers, okay? That is the reason when you are having a conversation with a Latin person like me, for example, you can understand easily. But when you go and speak with a native person, you are going to see the difference that is complicated. And why is complicated? Because they do something that is called connected speech. It's connecting the last sound with another one. For example, over here, hearts, hearts, okay? The S sound is gonna be connected with off. So you don't say hearts off, you say hearts, hearts. Can you see the sound? Excuse me, can you listen the sound? Hearts off. Warming the hearts of tragic fallen spirits, okay? And you can see that there are a lot of things that you can just connect, like centuries of poison, centuries of. So in that way, you get fluent and you do that they do that sometimes you don't understand. So I want you to keep this in mind. Whatever you see at short test, it could be music lyrics, it could be a song. I mean, music lyrics, it could be a poetry, excuse me, it could be poetry, a poem. And if you read that aloud, it's gonna get practice on your vocal cords and phonetics and pronunciation. So guys, I am very happy with your participation in this class. I had a lot of fun listening to your stories and you are doing great. So I hope to see you sometime. Bye-bye, guys. This is all for today. You can get disconnected.
Okay,
Thank
teacher.
you,
Thank you very
teacher.
much.
Bye.
Okay, it was a pleasure being with you. Bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you very much.
Bye, David.